I had a near-death experience in the car waiting on Thomas to get here.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I was sitting in the car waiting on Thomas to get here, drinking Gatorade, and I burped and I threw up in my mouth, and it got in my wind tube.
Oh no! Are you okay?
Yeah, it happens to me all the time because I lived alone so long. I know how to prevent myself from choking. So if I have I've given myself the Heimlich maneuver before.
You sound like such an old man. Well, I've lived alone without my children.
I hate roommates.
My kids left me in '73.
I haven't had a roommate that wasn't my girlfriend since 2006.
All right.
So yeah, basically I sat there for like 5 minutes going, it was really.
I bet you just look like a retarded person trapped in a car.
Wait. What did you do though? What did you do?
Like that's the only way to expel air properly is to pull it from your diaphragm.
Right.
But it's so scary. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna have to make a dash for the Warrens? Because they're not gonna remember who I am, and I'm gonna knock on the door like making the choke signal and like.
Hi, and welcome to Probably Comics. I'm Thomas.
I'm Link.
And I'm Tyler.
And you're listening to our weekly segment called What's in the Box?
What is in that box?
Where we talk about... we put all of our comics in a big pile, and we talk about what we read this week.
Oh, man, that was not going to be funny, but the fact that you said that box totally sold it.
That's good.
Totally sold it. Okay, let's get started.
Yeah,
Daredevil... Number 6.
Daredevil number 6.
Return to Form by Mark Waid.
Oh man, it was so good. It was because it's been building up, and I've been really hoping that it was going to end really well because it's this 3-issue story.
Mm-hmm.
And the first part was really cool. Second one was a little like, and then the third one was like you realize what Bruiser's whole thing is, and you get the Matt Murdock sort of almost detective trying to figure out where his weak point is because he knows he's not strong enough and he knows he's not fast enough.
It was very Batman-y.
Yeah, it was really cool.
The fight was very Batman-y.
It was really, I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun.
I don't like the fact that Daredevil is treating part of Mr. Fantastic's suit, or Johnny Storm's suit, or someone's suit. Part of one of the Fantastic Four suits is something that like is so rare and sacred when they have 1,000 of them.
Right.
You know, but it was neat. It was interesting that they put all
and
the
it
data
can look like anything.
Yeah, but this one in this case looks like a round 4.
Yeah, it's the 4 part.
And they just like wrote a bunch of data onto the unstable particles, which is, I mean, Fantastic Four, man, it's my jam.
Yeah.
Daredevil's...
But I would say grab some back issues, read this arc, and then keep reading from there. It's really good. And then and Paulo Rivera comes back next month.
What?
The artist from the first few issues of Daredevil.
I liked this guy.
Me too, but I really like Paulo Rivera a lot, and I like the way he draws Daredevil a lot.
Yeah.
I read the first couple issues. And
is this start a new arc?
The next issue will start the new arc.
Okay.
This one ends that one, but I'm sure it will come up again later because he's now pissed off every major terrorist organization in the world.
There's really no
That's all Daredevil does is just piss people off, right?
That's all he can do.
Mm-hmm.
With his blindness.
And his lawyerness.
And his Irishness.
Okay, I'm gonna sit back and listen for a little while.
Yeah.
Link read the Ultimates issue 4. He's the only one reading this.
It's getting stronger. I really like what's going on. I didn't think I would like it at first.
I mean,
and it was quite confusing at first.
I mean, it's my boy Hickman.
Yeah, it's
good.
I
love him.
I think just without spoiling it.
No spoilers. Actually, you know what? You can spoil if you haven't read your books by now. So turn it off.
The coolest thing that happened in this is in the last issue, basically Ultimate Asgard has been wiped out. It's completely gone.
Ultimate Asgard.
Yeah, and Asgard.
It's not regular Asgard.
It's Ultimate Asgard. No, I get it.
It's been wiped out, and Thor is, he just comes down to this sort of, he's getting his ass kicked, and he doesn't know what to do, and all of a sudden Odin appears to him and says, get up, you dumbass, be better, and he realizes that as the only part of Asgard left, he's the only thing Asgardian in the world.
What about his dad?
No, I'm saying this is Odin's ghost. Thor is Valhalla.
Okay.
Thor is the resting place of every spirit of Asgard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought that was a really neat touch, and that's something that really grabbed me about Ultimates 4. I liked it. I had fun.
Okay.
Which even though is according to Tyler, not a reason to read a comic book.
Fun be damned. I come for convoluted continuity and story, which is why I should love Ultimates, because it's Hickman, and that man can spin a yarn. Good God. All right, you two. I didn't read this.
Man,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4.
It is getting so much better.
From Kevin Eastman.
Finally.
This is I don't want to spoil it, but spoiler alert: the 4 have become one.
Yes.
Raph has finally rejoined his brothers.
Did they fight?
No. They did not fight, but Raph is still very confused.
Oh,
but
yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, he's clueless. He doesn't even know what his name is. He's just like, oh my God, there's 3 other things that look like me, and they're all saying I'm their brother.
Yeah, and they're like, come on, buddy, let's go hang out. And
yeah, they're just like, hey, man, let's go chow down on some pizza.
Yeah, and he's just like,
Cool. Don't be rude.
Be cool, but rude.
Give me a break.
But I've really been enjoying it. Granted, I love the Turtles, but it's been a really cool spin on them. It's been a cool spin on the story. I like where it's going. They're starting to turn Stockman into the bad guy that he needs to be. He seemed like a really nice guy in the first 2 issues, and he's really starting to come out as kind of a dick. Now, I like it.
Other than
you like dick?
Other than being the Fly Guy, does he have any?
The Fly Guy.
No, he's just the Fly Guy.
See, I don't know anything about Turtles.
Yeah, he
turns into a giant fly.
It's okay. Yeah. I don't care.
At least in the cartoon show and stuff.
Which I've seen some pictures. There's already pictures of they're talking about General Krang. They're not going to make it something. It's going to be a brain in a robot suit.
Is it?
What are they gonna do? That seems like
next
an iconic
like coming next. Yeah,
I guess so.
I like that it's a little more believable. It's a little more real. However, they're still holding on to this completely ridiculous shit.
Yeah,
like there are still mutant cats and
giant turtles that know karate and
exactly.
ninjutsu.
So it is simultaneously ridiculous and really kind of
I'm just
raw.
wondering when we're gonna start getting to how Splinter knows the ninjutsu. When are we gonna get to the part where we start talking about Oroku Saki and Master Yoshi?
So next week.
Yeah, I know. There's a guy who looks like a samurai on next month's cover. But I really can't wait. So I hope that's Master Yoshi, so that we can kind of get some more backstory on Splinter. But it's really good. I like it a lot.
My question is, how long till we get this Shredder? Like, are they gonna mess around with it for a while and then?
Well, I mean, we have to get Yoshi before you get Oroku Saki.
Yeah. Touche, salesman.
And eventually, Usagi Yojimbo.
The Samurai Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I'm the only one that read this, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
Thunder Agents.
Thunder Agents by my boy Nick Spencer. Nick Spencer, if you don't know, also writes The Infinite Vacation, which is probably one of my favorite comics that's ever been created. Thunder Agents. I'm not sure what's going on. It was very dense and very confusing. The only thing I got out of it was that there's some kind of a helmet that somebody wears and free will goes away when he wears it. But there was it's like this big government conspiracy. It was
like the whole world's free will goes away?
Yeah, because he can basically control everybody's will, but only in ways that would benefit the world, because there's like an algorithm built into the helmet. It is extremely dense and very confusing. There was a run. This is a number 1 of a 6 run, but a 6-issue run. But there was another 6-issue run before this, and I feel like if I had read that, I might understand it a little bit better. But I mean, I'm going to keep on trying to read it because I love Nick Spencer so much, and the premise seems pretty promising.
Do you think I would like it if I went back? If I just went to the store and grabbed it?
It's hard to say. Hard to say. If you thought FF was confusing, pick up Thunder Agents.
Okay.
You're gonna be like, what? Okay, Thomas, this is all you.
Yeah, I read Wolverine.
These seem to be coming out like every other week. Are these 2-week books?
I have no idea. I don't really read it. I was reading the Regenesis stuff. It was fun. I mean, I really don't know much.
Defend your position.
I really don't know much about what's going on in Wolverine's life recently, but
sorry, go ahead.
But the ending was really cool. There's a lot. They basically the premise is that they sneak into the secret base of the Jade Claw, I guess. There's like a huge underground drug cartel that like moves lots of opium and child slaves and stuff.
Like you do.
But what they have they literally have a tunnel to China underground.
Oh, God.
They have the fabled tunnel to China,
That's
but
possible.
they have these giant red Chinese dragons under there that do all the like hard work for them.
This seems to be getting a little wacky for my
It's
taste.
really wacky. So him, Gorilla Man, and this huge sumo wrestler guy.
Oh, who was one of the
What?
the weapons like Iron Fist, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who all he talks about is like winches and food. Yeah,
What? So what is he? Japanese Falstaff?
basically.
Superman.
What they do is they get eaten by the dragons, and then the dragons puke them up onto one of the henchmen, and then they just start kicking ass and taking names, and that's base. And then they ride the dragons all the way back to Westchester.
Yeah,
Wow.
that sounds like a comic book.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah,
even for a world where I'm supposed to believe that mutant powers exist, that's
In a world.
wacky.
Yeah, it was really wacky. I probably won't keep reading it after Regenesis is over, now that he's back in Westchester. But if it says Regenesis on it, I'll buy it. FF.
All right.
Jesus.
FF12. If you had taken the time to read my review on theouthousers.com, dropping names, you would know that this book is not for people who read 600 to pick up and start.
No, it's not.
Really, you can start at FF1, but you really need to start at FF1 at the very least. You really need to read everything Hickman's done on the Fantastic
So
Four.
from 587,
He started on 570.
Okay.
After Mark Millar. But there's a ton of payoff in FF12 and a ton of payoff in 600 from stuff that happened during his Fantastic Four run. There was like all the Franklin Richards stuff gets kind of set up in the 575 or something like that, and now it's starting to come to fruition. Like with at the end of 600, you're like, oh, Franklin Richards is going to be really important, and then in this book, it kind of keeps moving in that direction, where Val is like losing importance because Val is like the most annoying Future Foundation child, and
she's really annoying.
I'm going to disagree.
And you're going to talk about the guy that wants to be a supervillain,
Young Wizard or what?
I don't remember, but yeah, he's pretty bad. But it's
You mean the guy with the
good.
goggles on his head?
No,
Who's the kid with the goggles on his head?
the little fat kid.
I don't remember him.
I mean, he's not in this book
It's
a
like
lot.
the child version of one of the Fantastic Four's worst.
Yeah.
Or like one of the smartest guys.
Anyway, I mean, it's still really, really good. I wish that everybody would just go back and read FF #1 and keep going because it's so good, and you're gonna get. I feel like it's one of those stories that's so dense and so built up over so many issues that the payoff is going to be so worth it.
I can probably agree with that.
I'm really excited. I love Jonathan Hickman. We all read this one, Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah.
#2.
Yep.
I'm gonna let it.
Tyler didn't like it.
No.
Well, Tyler didn't like the first one.
Actually, that's not true. I liked it better. I like this better than I don't remember. Did I like Uncanny X-Men #1 or Wolverine and the X-Men #1 better?
You like you
You seem to
both.
you seem to be pretty
I
down.
did not
on
like
it.
them both.
strongly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely like Uncanny X-Men #2 better than Wolverine and the X-Men #2. Like by a long shot. But I still don't understand, like we've already talked about, I still don't understand the gravity of Mr. Sinister as a villain. Like I get that he's going to be very difficult to defeat because he's got what appears to be some kind of a jewel that transfers.
Well, and it's not even that. It's that he's done nothing but study mutant kind for like hundreds of years. He knows specifically the Summers family, the Summers and the Gray families. Like because they are the purest mutant lineage that exists. They are a family of exclusively mutants.
And they all are the scariest motherfucking people. Like
yeah,
they have the wildest powers.
yeah.
I mean,
and so basically, when it comes to a Cyclops-led team, he knows everything there is to know about them to the point of being able to easily predict every move that they will make,
Including his own.
which he does.
right? Which he's like, oh, of course Hope is Diamond.
Yeah.
And of course she's far away, and he's like, excuse me, it's time for me to get shot because what else are you gonna do?
And
of course you're gonna do it.
matter because
And then Colossus squashes that guy's head with his hand, and
It was
it was
awesome.
awesome.
That was cool. I mean, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading it because I don't want to miss out on the Phoenix Saga that's coming.
Well, and the Celestial stuff.
And the Celestial stuff, but like
Oh, man.
I swear to God, if Kieran
scary.
Gillen writes the words "everything is sinister" in book
One more
number
time.
3,
Yeah, I agree.
I
Yeah.
may never buy another thing that he writes. That it wasn't clever the first time. It's not clever the second time. It sure ain't going to be clever the third time. Like, are all of these books called Everything is Sinister? Is that the name of the arc?
Is it?
I know the first book. The name of the first book is Everything is Sinister, but I couldn't find anything in here that mentioned the name of the arc. So, I mean, but oh god, it's just. I feel like he wrote that and thought that was really neat, and then is just going to keep writing.
but that's he didn't come up with that. He's not the first guy to say, "Oh, Mr. Sinister, we should say everything
Mr.
is
Sinister
Yeah.
always says everything is sinister.
No, it's
No,
not.
I'm
It's
just
not like
saying-
a tagline.
Yeah,
No,
is
it's
that
not,
his
but
catchphrase?
he's not the first guy to ever write like
I'm not saying that
use
he's the
Sinister as like in a sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, have
Yeah.
Sinister say Sinister.
Yeah, but okay, so if I don't have time to do this kind of research, but I would love to go back and look at all the Uncanny X-Men that have to do with Mr. Sinister and see if the same sentence repeats over and over again
'Cause it
throughout all of the
doesn't.
run. Like if he's like, "Hey, that soup is sinister" in every book, I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god!" But and I could excuse it if I thought it was just part of the character. I just think it's poor writing. I'm the only one that read Thunderbolts for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's so good.
I just don't
It's
care about
so
the characters.
good. I don't either, but like what's neat, like in the run after the Fear Itself bullshit was finished, they rewired their building to move through space so that they could escape what the ship was going down, but they accidentally moved through time as well. So they show up in the beginning of the run. They show up in the 40s during World War II in Nazi Germany, and they help Namor and Captain America beat Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
Baron Zemo.
Who
and
is
then,
who originated the Thunderbolts?
yes.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
yeah.
kind of neat.
And now they've jumped again, and they're in turn of the 20th century England, and one of the main characters, Mr. Hyde, is Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
So they're like he's got Satana with him, and Satana's like doing some magic so that nobody can figure out who he is. And so they've got to find them and fight them and all that. It's really good. It's fun little historical stuff, and they're playing with Marvel's history. It's neat. Avengers Origins.
I forgot to get it.
I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Thomas as we were walking down here. It goes Ant-Man and Wasp, Vision, Thor sits at a number 3. It's certainly better than the Maximoff book, and it's light years beyond Luke Cage.
It's not better than the Maximoff book though. I feel like.
Oh, man.
Hey, way to put your phone on vibrate.
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
The thing about Avengers Origins, the thing about what made Ant-Man and Vision so good is that Vision doesn't have that long of an origin story, so that was okay for 22 issues. Ant-Man,
Pages.
22 pages. Ant-Man, they were like, okay, this he discovered pin particles and now he's a superhero, and that was the whole that was his backstory. And then we got the story about how Wasp came about, which was interesting for both parties.
Well, and really, it was more a story about them getting to know each other than it
Right.
was
Yeah,
about their origin, which
absolutely.
I thought was awesome.
Right, but the last 3, Luke Cage, Maximoffs, and Thor, have been like 13, 14 pages of them as children or in jail, and then very quickly getting you up to speed where you need
all
to
of a
be.
sudden they're who they are.
Like that makes no sense. Like there was
Yeah.
one frame with him as whatever his Doctor alter ego was before he got his
Dr.
hammer back.
Donald Blake.
Yeah, there was one frame with that in it, and that is his origin story. His origin story is not that he was a child and like knew Loki, and Loki was a fly on the wall when they were making the hammer, and that's why the hammer is thinking. It's like that's not.
Yeah,
his
his story is
origin
that he
story.
pissed off his dad.
They should have been like Avengers Origins Thor's hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would have made more sense. And then it's like him just being an emo teenager.
It wasn't about why he got sent to Earth.
It's
'Cause
at the
that's
very
what
I mean,
that's what
for
the
like
story
a page.
is.
That's what I'm saying.
but that comes out of nowhere.
That's the Thor origin story. We
I
get
agree.
the Norse mythology aspect of it. Like I don't
no. What you really want to learn about is when he was a child and his brother Loki and him were fighting over this cute blonde girl that
No,
they
who,
see,
both
who
I-
eventually becomes Sif.
Yeah,
So,
but I still don't care. Like
no, of course
I
you
want to
don't.
see him come to Earth because that's the origin that it's his Avenger origin that I'm concerned with.
I know. That's why. That's they're missing this. They're missing it entirely. Like
Can-
they're getting too caught up. Like this is a movie tie. This is what happened before the movie.
I think that's what all this is that they're going to start making movies about these people, and you need to know who the hell they are.
X-Men Legacy number 259. This is the
Oh.
last book in the stack.
I think me and Tyler are the only ones who read it.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Is it necessary for Rogue when you're writing Rogue? Is it necessary instead of I for her to say ah?
Yes.
Do you not understand that she's Southern, so she has to say ah?
Not everybody, and she's always been written that way since she showed up. She's always been written that way.
But why?
Well, because the first time you introduce her, you have to tell people that she has a Southern accent, and then it just became this thing.
Why can't it be like? Why can't you just be like, hey, I'm from. Is she from Louisiana?
She's from Mississippi.
Mississippi. Hey, I'm from Mississippi.
Gambit's from Louisiana.
Now read me as a Southern person. Gambit doesn't do that.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, Gambit's got a
Yeah,
whole dialect that he speaks Creole.
All
It's
the
like a
share and
whole
all that
Arcadian.
right.
That's
but
like a whole
they,
dialect.
They write it in though. Usually,
Yeah,
most
but
writers
Rogue,
do.
All that Rogue does is say ah instead of I. That's her whole
She
thing.
says sugar.
Sugar.
One time in this entire
Babe.
issue. Every time she says, I had a big problem with it because I read every character the same. I don't have a very good imagination,
Obviously.
so I read every character the same. I read every character the same, and so
What's
she
your
just kept,
sinister voice
she
sound
just
like
kept
again?
saying
Yeah.
ah, like,
yeah. Let's get Minister.
I want to go to the bathroom. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I was like reading it phonetically out to myself, like, I want to go. It still doesn't really. Really the right sound.
I just use the voice from the '90s cartoon.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
Yeah,
But
That's what I do. That's what I do with all of them.
But
okay,
yeah,
so
I mean-
let's talk about the book
Yeah,
for a second.
sorry. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It is. I feel like this is apparently the title that's going to bring about the
No.
Phoenix stuff.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. Did some wiki research.
Who is this at the end of this book?
Ariel, just like she says. Ariel is a character that I was unaware of. She's a teleporter of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
She can create gateways, and I think the issue was that she got caught in like a limbo of gateways.
Because this has nothing to do with the Phoenix Force. Because they talk
No.
about it a lot in this book.
They think it is. They think that it is
And
the
then
Phoenix
it
Force,
just
and it
is-
turns out not to be. It turns out to be a character who disappeared some number, like
And
a few.
she's just in the
well,
Phoenix Sword?
she's part of.
Are the swords the doorway into some dimension that's full of fire that has nothing to do with the Phoenix? Even though
Well, the doorway leading to fire is because it is the Phoenix. It is the sword that used to contain the power of the Phoenix. The issue is that now she is stuck within that fiery
okay.
dimension.
See, that's what I'm asking.
I guess.
So is that? I guess that makes sense since this book is at 259 and this is the
right.
first one I've ever
She was
read.
assumed dead
Okay.
until this book, and so
So this is some kind of
Thank
payoff
God
that I don't
she's
understand.
back.
right. This is a payoff that it took some Wikipedia to find out
It's
what.
like
what-
it's like
why.
the X-23 or not X-23.
Because
it's
I was like,
X-Men.
is that Jean? But why Ariel? Like I cannot figure out some type of like cool alliterative.
Wait,
or
is it
like
a red? Is she a redhead?
No.
Okay,
well,
She's just
on
made of fire, basically. But
I mean,
yeah,
the
because I
Little
was
Mermaid.
like, no way,
Oh.
Jean's in the sword, and of course it's not Jean, because of course they're gonna get Cyclops' hopes up about it, and it's just not gonna be, because it never is, and it never will be.
Okay.
You know, Gene and Janet Pym, like, they hang out on the weekends, like, talking about how their boyfriends are never going to get them back. Like, assholes.
We're so dead.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thanks for listening to Probably Comics and our weekly segment, What's in the Box?
Can you tell me what's inside of this box? So, I just decided I didn't want to do that. What in the who?
Those are weird.
Tune in next week to see how Link decides he's going to say, What's in the box?
What's in the boo?
I like that this was a 5th week and we still somehow managed to talk about Link 12.
Yeah, man.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Uncanny Tom. That's THOM.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's LinkZ2.
And if you want to follow me on the Twitter, I'm at DT Mills.
And you can follow the show on Twitter at Probably Comics, or check us out on probablycomics.com.
Or you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/probablycomics.
Thanks, y'all.
This show is unofficially brought to you by Kingdom Comics of Vestavia Hills, Alabama.
Thanks, Dan.
And Albert.
And Jason.
Why not?
And what's the other guy's name?
Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Is that his name? Okay.